Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah and today is going to be a very short manga monthly. I haven't read a lot of manga this month. Most of the month has been for me dedicated to Stars of Chaos by Priest, so we'll get right into it. I finished this month and I did enjoy this, but I'm going to get straight out of the way. This has a 200-page start to it, and normally I don't like things that take that long to start, but because I had a physical copy of this, a beautiful physical copy of this, I kept going. I kept pushing through, and the last, 400 pages, 200 pages, it felt so much longer than that. The last 250 pages were fun. They were good. I really got a handle on the dynamic and enjoyed it. This, if you do not know, is a donmei about a young boy who is raised in a village for most of his adolescence into his teen years. And when he is a teen, his mother, let's say dies, we're just gonna say dies, during a raid on the village by I think it's the northern clans who are trying to encroach on the lands of the empire where he lived. And when she dies, she curses him and tells him he has been intaking a poison his whole life and it will eventually drive him mad. He is rescued by his godfather and taken to the capital, where it is pronounced that he is the long lost, I think it's fourth prince. From there, he is handed into his godfather's care by the emperor and he is meant to raise him. Now, he's not good at that. Our godfather, Guyan, is just the saddest emotional excuse for a person. He has the emotional depth of a puddle. The man doesn't understand teenagers. He doesn't understand feelings. I'm pretty sure he breaks out into hives when there's any kinds of feelings. So that makes for an awkward situation since our young protagonist, I'm gonna butcher the name, but Chongjing, he has, been through a traumatic event and he's leaning on his godfather, and also he might have a bit of a crush on him. All the while, old godfather here is just like, hunky-dory, I'm gonna run off and not come back for months at a time. All in all, the two have a very messy relationship. It's very funny. The side characters are a little strange. There's two boys that survived the raid on the village that came to the palace, to the capital with him, and I'm not sure yet how I feel. One is the comedic fat character. He's called a little picky character, and the other one was raised as a girl but is technically a boy, and it kind of wiffle waffles between pronouns and addressing him, and it's strange. Well, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if it's a quirk of the translation or the writing, but the story itself is enjoyable. I can't say I would recommend it for a beginner to donmei. I think if you really like the genre and you don't mind a 200-page start, then maybe you can pick it up. I'll probably continue the series because I liked where it was going with the monk, and then it starts to get into this spy network that works behind the scenes sort of thing at the end. That was cool. If that continues through book 2, I will definitely continue the series. I'll give it one more book and we'll see where it goes, but did get to finish this. I was very excited, especially since Husky and His White Cat Volume 3 is on its way to me. I'm so very excited about that. I got the shipping notification from Barnes & Noble today. Yesterday. So hopefully that will be up soon. I'll be able to hold that up in a wrap up. The few other manga, the actual mangas I read, I did read Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 3. I continue to love this series. It's a slice of life series about a sanctuary zoo park for dinosaurs in an alternate kind of history world where we have learned how to clone and remake dinosaurs and breed them in parks. But the fad of dinosaurs has kind of faded, so these parks are struggling, especially at this particular one in Japan. And we follow mainly our main character is, I think, Suma Suzume, as she takes a job at the park, sort of in honor of her father, who was a dinosaur researcher. She wants to take after him, so she starts to work at this park and the people that she works with. It's also interspersed with other little stories of outside characters. In this one, we had a story of two young girls who are friends and they bonded over the Spinosaurus, which my favorite dinosaur, and it was very good. I really liked this one. I don't know which of the three would be my favorite volume yet. I will say this one came with, and I haven't torn it out because I don't want to lose it, a park, like brochure. It's even got a map. How cool! And again, it's got the Spinosaurus on the brochure cover. Love Spinosaurus. It's my favorite dinosaur, so it's probably going to be this one as my favorite just because of that. But I do very much recommend this series if you like slice of life manga, if you're a dinosaur fan. The biggest plus for me on this one is that our author, Itaro Kinoshita, actually has a research consultant who puts in little essays and who is credited on the cover, Dr. Shinichi Fujiwara. It's so cool. He tries to use actual science and he bases it off actual research. It's very, very neat. They do take artistic liberties, especially in particular with one particular dinosaur. They had a whole chapter dedicated to this guy. I can't remember his scientific name. We don't actually know what their forearms look like, so they took some artistic license with that and came up with a model for him for the manga. And they do point it out when that happens. Dino Sanctuary, a win. Like always, I'm very excited to continue it. I will continue to get these on release. The last things I read was more Assassination Classroom. I think I am up to volume 16. I'm up to volume 16. So I do believe that's 5 volumes from the end. We're getting close. You can tell the pace is ramping up nicely. The stories are getting a little more high stakes. Some of the arcs that I saw in this one were Nagisa, I'm not sure how to say his name. His mother's arc, hated it, didn't enjoy that. The school festival arc, another round of finals went through, and I think there was one more and I can't remember what it was, but I am really liking this series. It continues to stay very strong. I can sit and binge 2 to 3 volumes at a time, take a few days break, come back in, binge a few volumes. I'm not missing anything. I don't feel like I have forgotten much. It's all tying together very nicely. Definitely recommend this one if you like it. It's got some wholesome moments, but like I said, it's ramping up a bit. We're starting to see some bigger, what's the word I want? Oh, watch my brain stop. Damn. Consequences. We're starting to see bigger consequences. Oh, that was the other arc. The principal redemption. No, I can't stand him. On that note, I'll say this series does an interesting thing where it will introduce a character and it will give you their backstory and almost kind of a redemption arc so that you learn more about them and you kind of grow to love them through their quirks, good or bad. And up until now, the principal has been a big antagonist and we get his story, and it reminds me of Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer did the same thing, right? We had the demons, and every time a demon was defeated, we got their backstory and we got their story. And frankly, some of those stories made me sob. Some of those demons' backstories were tragic, and I love them even if they're terrible. That was not the case for the principal. The principal was terrible, as he's still terrible. I don't care how much he's grown or what he's learned or if he's nice to Class E from here on out. He can jump off a really high bridge. I don't like him. Nope. That is it. I have read nothing of note besides that. As far as manga goes, I was on a week-long vacation early in the month and it totally threw me off, and my family's routine and schedule has changed, so that has also thrown me off, and I am very lucky to have any time to film right now. I feel like I don't have time for anything at this moment in time. That's it. I'm hoping to read more next month. I want to try to finish Assassination Classroom if I can, and then I am trying to decide what series I'm going to binge through. I keep talking about Black Clover and I keep having like little false starts into it, but that is one that has my emotions in a chokehold. And I'm afraid if I start it, I will keep hitting these cliffhangers because I know they're there. Oh no. So I've also considered picking up Dr. Stone again, which I got like 80 chapters into a few years ago and never did finish. And then I also considered going back to DBZ. I haven't watched or read it since I was a preteen. We'll see what I pick up. It'll probably be in November or December if I start something new. That's it. Before I forget, I did get the core record for Demon Slayer. This is not a light novel. For some reason I was thinking it was going to be a light novel. This has got like character portraits, we've got mission reports. There is a section of full color. Oh, that's the final battle. I can't show you that. There is like the story so far almost with full color. There's about 15-20 pages of this full color. 30 pages. There's about 30 pages of full color. That is like epilogue stuff. And there are some actual manga chapters in the back. I do believe this has the Rengoku chapter that was online that came out around the time of the Mugen Train arc for the anime. And I don't know what the other stuff is. I have not read it yet. I was going to read it before I filmed this, but I had time today. And it's the, what, 27th? I have a few more days in the month, but I'm filming this now because I don't plan on reading anything much besides this in Assassination Classroom. So I will read this and report back next month. But it is out if you are a Demon Slayer fan like myself, so keep an eye out for it if you want to collect that stuff. That's it for Manga Monthly. Let me know, what are your thoughts? Have you read Stars of Chaos? Let me know. Where are you guys at? Have you given up on it? Are you still giving it a shot? That sort of thing. Let me know all that stuff down below, and I will talk to you guys in a few weeks with next month's wrap up. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I've already filmed my outro, but here I am back somewhere in this video to add. I also read I Want to Eat Your Pancreas by Yumi Sumino. Classic, I know, never read it. Picked it up from the library at the beginning of the month. I enjoyed it. It did not make me cry the way I thought it would. I'll say that. I really enjoyed that. It's a story about a young woman who is dying from, it looks like some sort of pancreatic cancer or pancreatic disease, and a young man, told mostly from his perspective, and she meets him and they make this kind of forced friendship in that she forces it on him and he eventually comes around, and it is their friendship until the time that she passes away. It did surprise me in the end. It did have sad moments. A Silent Voice, was it called? Yes, A Silent Voice. No. Your Lie in April really messed me up. This one didn't come close. This one was like a close second to Your Lie in April. A Silent Voice I've not finished. So on a scale of sad manga, this one's not very high, but I did like it. I will say I did like it, and I do think it's worth the read, and I think it had some interesting things to say in its reflections, especially her reflections at the end on her life and her impact and how she had decided to live her life knowing she would die. So something, it's classic for a reason. I don't think it's definitely not overhyped, but maybe it's not like completely worth the hype, let's say. Like a 7 out of 10. Pick it up if you're interested, if you like sad manga, if you like something that has an interesting message to it. It is worth the read. It is worth the read. Okay, all right.